If you're in the Samsung ecosystem and you're not using SmartThings, you are missing out. Let's go. When I moved house recently, obviously I built my studio, but it was important to me to extend my Samsung ecosystem beyond the work I do in here and into my home. So I got some products that would sort of go along with what I already had. I invested in the Samsung Family Hub, and I invested in an oven and a washing machine that all kind of link together, as well as decking out my studio with extra stuff as well. The thing that binds all of that together is SmartThings. And the SmartThings platform works best when it's on a Samsung phone. So today I just want to show you some of the ways that I use SmartThings on my phone to control the ecosystem within my house, as opposed to just the one in my studio. I want to start with my TVs because that is the one that I guess sits proud in the lounge room. And I've had a frame TV now for a few years and it just looks sensational on the wall. Might not be the best TV, but at least it offers me functionality that regular TVs just don't. So first things first with SmartThings, it's a pretty basic remote out of the box, or the first thing you kind of do with it. That's probably what most people think about when they think about a smart TV and SmartThings is the remote control capabilities. And it's really convenient because of the fact that the kids just throw the remote everywhere. Having the remote on my phone means that I can just easily control it from my phone. And with Nowbar adding in the remote support within SmartThings, means it's just conveniently sitting at the top every time the TV's on. You can customize and move things around with the remote and make it sort of more accessible. You can also shortcut straight into apps as well. And also now they've given you show recommendations to go along with it. It's a really nice place to go for your TV control from SmartThings on your phone. But being a frame, there's extra stuff that you can control in here. And there's newer TVs that have even more, but seeing as how mine's 4 years old now, still pretty good for its time. We love to use the frame as kind of like a piece of art on the wall, as I guess most people would. But something that we do every year for everyone's birthday is we create a custom picture and stick it on the frame so when they walk out in the morning, it's the first thing they see as a nice surprise. We do all that on the phone, and then we can send it to the TV via the SmartThings app using the sort of artwork area, and then it becomes on the screen. It's very convenient, and just one of the ways that I love using SmartThings on the phone to control the TV, especially the frame. Of course, the TV has its own SmartThings app as well, so you can go in there and see the status of a lot of other devices and control them from the remote and the TV as well. But the interconnectivity between the phone and the TV via SmartThings, especially one that's 4 years old now, is still quite good, and I just love that connectivity between it. Of course, the TV has other things too, like wireless decks that you can cast to it. I'm just sort of focusing on SmartThings for today, but don't think I haven't forgotten about the other stuff. Sticking in the open living area that I have and moving to the fridge. The Family Hub is something I've had my eyes on for years, and when we decided to move house, we found one at a good price and just went for it because of the fact that this kind of does act like a family hub. Literally, it's got its own operating system on front of the screen, so you don't have to have the phone to control it or interact with it. And you can do so much on that screen. Like you can create calendar appointments. You can view apps in the app drawer. You can create memos. You can go in, draw on a whiteboard. There's so much in there, including a family favorite now, Spotify. You can just control Spotify directly from that screen. And what's great too is the kids, if they just want to jam out to some music, can pop some music on, and then the whole family can kind of get into it as well. It's a really nice centerpiece for a kitchen, but for any sort of family living area, it's a really great piece of technology to have there, as well as just being a fridge. Some of the ways I really like the concept of is the fact that it talks to the oven. So if I wanted to, browse recipes on the screen, and then I wanted to sort of start that recipe, I can send the instructions to the oven to follow the preheating and the heating guide, and then it would add the timer and everything that's needed straight to the oven immediately. Very convenient, and I love that connectivity. The oven I'll get to in a moment. But from a SmartThings on your phone point of view, there's a little bit that you can do. The first one is obviously control the temperature, turn on toggles like power freeze and some other stuff in there. You can jump right in and just control that from your phone without needing to go to the fridge to do that. And you've also got cameras on the fridge that with SmartThings, you can view inside the fridge. So if you're out shopping, you can check what's in the fridge and see if you need to get eggs or more milk, for example. What I also really like though is the fact that you can link photos and just send them via QuickShare from your phone to the display on the fridge, which means the fridge can then have in its gallery photos that you've selected for it and then add it in. And then there's widgets and whatnot that you can add in there that will preview and showcase the photos on the main home screen as well. So it kind of turns into a family photo album too, as well as the regular screen mirroring, because you can screen mirror from your phone to the fridge as well, which means if you wanted to put something on the fridge while you're cooking, you could do that. But the fridge has YouTube as well. So you can load up your favorite YouTuber and watch them directly on the fridge too. And the speakers are sensational. And put it back in my Galaxy S25 Ultra. And boy, did that feel good. Well, let's go. After I published my review of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the other part too is the fridge obviously has smart alerts. So if the fridge door is left open, it'll alert your phone to let you know, hey, close that fridge door. Convenience. And then the last part of the living kitchen area is the oven that I kind of already mentioned. Like I said, you can control it from the fridge and send directions to the oven. I was going to say stove anyway, but you can also do it from your phone too. And because of the oven I got, there's different levels, an upper level and a lower level. And I can completely control that from the SmartThings app. Imagine like going home and you needed to preheat the oven so by the time you get home, it will preheat. That is the type of level you can do with this. And it kind of gives you running commentary, I guess you could say, via visuals in what temperature it's sort of reaching. And then when it reaches that level, you get a notification to let you know that it's at that temperature and it's ready to cook. And as well, if you're sending it instructions or if you're setting a timer, your phone can keep a track of that too. So if you wanted to cook for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, or even just low as 1 minute, it will let you know how long is left. And then again, alert you once that time is up. And on your phone, it's a great alert to have because you can just go straight in and deal with it. One thing I was desperately keen on automating in my new house was the cleaning of the pool. Having never owned a pool before, I'd heard lots from family and friends of how tiresome and how annoying it is to keep the surface of the pool clean. But it wasn't until I actually got the pool where the day-to-day maintenance of having to clean debris off the surface of the pool with a handheld skimmer really started to annoying me. With the rest of the house already automated, it just makes sense to automate the pool cleaning as well. And that's where the Aiper Surfer S2 comes into play. The Aiper Surfer S2 is an automatic pool skimmer that just goes and goes and goes with over 35 hours plus of continuous usage. Reason why is because on top of it is a built-in solar panel, meaning it charges as it works. The unboxing and setup process is super efficient. Within minutes of opening the box and after you download the Play Store app, you are ready to go with this pool cleaner. The app has everything you need to control the Aiper Surfer S2. You can set schedules, you have a manual remote, and you can just start and stop it all from the comfort of the app. And you can monitor all of it as well, right from the comfort of your own lounge room, meaning you don't even have to get up to start this thing and use it. Pools, especially in my area, I've got lots of trees that just drop leaves, get a lot of debris on the surface of it. What's great with the Aiper Surfer S2 is it has a really wide opening, meaning it can easily account for anything in its path, and it's got a removable basket that just lets you catch everything and nothing gets through it either. It's got debris guards inbuilt, so it just stays in there and doesn't go anywhere else in the pool. Something else the pool cleaner has got as well is 2 time of flight sensors on either side, meaning when it's approaching a corner or something that's an obstacle, it can automatically divert, reverse out, and change direction because it can sense that something's there and will move to avoid it. There's something so satisfying about just dropping something in the pool and letting it roam around and then waking up in the morning to a nice clean pool. It's beautiful. So instead of wasting time yourself manually removing the debris from the surface of the pool and having to sort of exert energy using those manual pool skimmers, let the Aiper Surfer S2 just take care of it for you, leaving you more time to enjoy the pool with your family. Get the Aiper Surfer S2 using the link in the description and use the code TechBenny to get yourself 5% off. You can also go check it out at Clark Rubber. And thank you to Aiper for sponsoring this video. So after you've got out of the pool and I guess automated that whole process, you probably will need to wash some clothes. And that's where the washing machine is effective. A lot of people have kind of questioned whether or not it's important to have a smart washing machine. And I kind of agree to an extent that a smart washing machine isn't necessarily the most important thing. But there's a couple of key aspects that I love about this, and the SmartThings element of it just adds to that. So with the SmartThings app, you can preview all of the modes that the washing machine has. You can monitor detergent, you can monitor the flow of detergent and even set that right from the SmartThings app. And it's much easier viewing it on a phone screen than it is on a screen or dials rather, on a washing machine. The washing machine I've got, you do need to press a button to sort of initiate the Smart Connect. So at least that way, if you don't want to control it with your phone, it's off by default, and then you press the button and you can control it. But once that's on, it's awesome because you just go into the SmartThings app and you can preview everything you can from in there and set the cycle, and you can start it as well from there also. One element that I really like is monitoring how long is left. And I know you can obviously do that just looking at the washing machine screen. But if you're not in that room, if you're somewhere else, you can kind of just open SmartThings and check how much longer there is to go with the washing. It could determine whether you go out, whether you stay in, and that way, at least when it's done, you get the notifications too. You get it on every device your Samsung account is logged in, whether it be your TV, your phone, a little pop-up appears, and that way you can get up and deal with it in a timely fashion. If that notification happens to happen when you're not at home, then at least also you can control the cycle and just sort of spin it for a rinse and spin a few times if you need to. So by the time you get home, there's no odors developed. It's just really clever in offering you that solution in being able to let you have that control. And you can control it without being there. That's the part that I like. The notifications and the fact that if you're not at home, you have control to remotely just spin it again to avoid that sort of odor that happens if you leave something wet for too long. So that's the sort of big home stuff that I sort of created. And it was really about just creating that network of devices that sort of improve daily life. And the fridge, the oven, the washing machine, those three in particular have definitely added to our family way of living. But I also wanted to do it in here. And that monitor behind me, the Samsung Smart Monitor M9, going through the SmartThings options and what it's capable of and how you can set it up from your phone, it's amazing. Of course, it's a smart TV, so you can control it like a remote control, but I've kind of already shown that off. There is extra stuff, being that it's a newer model with newer software that is in there now. But the thing I really appreciate is the hub stuff and how you can utilize this as sort of like a center point for other devices, but also as almost like a smart security monitor as well. Because it's got some sensors on board. It's got a camera, it's got a light sensor, it's also got a sound sensor, which means that when the monitor is turned off, you can turn on some toggles to enable it to sort of detect motion or sound or light in the room around you. And you can tie them into routines. So if you wanted to create a light routine where if it gets dark, for example, it can take a photo, or it can sort of send you a notification, hey, the light's left on. And then it will just alert you to that fact. So if you've accidentally left a light on, I can go in and turn it off via SmartThings because I programmed it to be like that. But then the camera is also a sensor. So if it detects motion in the room when the monitor is turned off, it can start recording, save it to SmartThings, and then send you a notification that motion's been detected, and you can have a live preview of what the camera is seeing whilst that's going on too. It's pretty good. And then alongside that, I've also added in this thing here, the music frame. Now, the music frame isn't a screen. It's just literally a speaker. Well, I don't say it's not just a speaker. It's also a SmartThings hub, similar to the monitor. You can send in Matter products to it. And it also can sort of cast music wirelessly, or you can cast music to it wirelessly, either from Google Cast from your phone or wirelessly from the monitor to that. I've shown that off before when I did the sort of mini studio tour. But then the last product that for me ties my office together is the SmartThings station. This thing I wasn't expecting to be so important, but it is. This is both a SmartThings hub for Matter and a SmartThings hub for Zigbee devices. So if you've got Zigbee lights, like I've got my studio light up here, that's Zigbee, you can connect them into your SmartThings network and then control it from the SmartThings station. And then you can also tie in routines, kind of like I said with the light sensor of the monitor, that can sort of tie into control devices with automation. Just all sort of brings itself together. With the station, I can go in and control sort of with double press or single press the lights. I've got some smart power boards, and I can use that station to press and control the lights. And it's great when I'm leaving the studio or coming into the studio, I can just press a button and set everything up. It's also handy that it's a little wireless charging pad as well, because you can just chuck the phone on and away it charges. So I really just wanted to put together something on how SmartThings can sort of control everything for you. And you have control yourself to do it, because you can go in, and Samsung have given you endless opportunities. The SmartThings app, I've only really scratched the surface, because in there, not only can you create things like 3D map views of your house with the floor plan, Not only can you see everything broken down by room, you can go to SmartThings Find, you can monitor energy usage. There's so much in there that I really just want to get into, and that's going to be sometime in the new year that I'll get into that. This one was just a showcase of how powerful Samsung's wider ecosystem really is and how SmartThings and your phone is at the center of it. If you want to look forward to that SmartThings deep dive, hit subscribe to Tech with Benefits. You won't want to miss it. Come follow me on my socials, and I'll see you guys in the next one.